Since it's September now, my mind is shifting into fall mode. I know it's not officially fall, but we're getting closer. And so I wanted to do a makeup look to kind of transition us from summer into fall. So I gathered all the products that I feel like were inspiring me in that way, and I'm gonna create a full look using them. By the way, shameless plug really quick, this is my personal bag, so you know, it's well loved and used. We are doing free shipping in the US on AllieGlines.com for all the bags through Monday for Labor Day. So if you live in the US, I'll have the link down below. I've already done my brows off camera, and I wanted to use my Il Makiage and Kathleen Lights palette. I honestly feel like this is the perfect all year palette, but especially for something that's gonna transition you from summer to fall, I think this is perfect. I'm gonna pick up this color right here. This one is called Boogie Shoes. And I'm not gonna use an eyeshadow primer or anything today, which is kind of unlike what I normally do, but I have a liquid eyeshadow that I've been dying to use that I felt like would be perfect for this look. So I'm just gonna throw in a little bit of this color into the crease, just to create a little bit of definition there, and to give the cream shadow something more matte to blend into. When it comes to fall looks, I feel like I like to go a little more glam. I like to wear a little more makeup. So for this look, I wanted to do something right in between. And I felt like for eyeshadow, something bronze would be perfect. So I grabbed this. This is my Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow, Liquid Lyrics, I think, eyeshadow in the shade Angelica. So I'm just gonna take some of this on the back of my hand, like that. It's a beautiful sparkly bronze. She just launched a bunch of new shades and I went crazy and bought most of them. So whenever the new shades come in, I'll definitely be trying those as well, but I wanted to use this color today. I'm just gonna dip into this on the back of my hand to kind of sheer it out a little. And then I'm just gonna go in with my brush and start working this across the entire eyelid. Look how pretty that is. I feel like this is totally summery, but also fall. You know what I mean? Like bronze is obviously timeless no matter what, but something like this would easily transition your makeup look from summertime to fall. It's perfect for September. Okay, so that's one solid layer. I want a little more, so I'm just gonna put a tiny bit more on the back of my hand and then pick that up with a brush as well and just do one more little bonus layer to really round things out. Now I'm gonna do something a little different than I normally do with my eyeshadow looks. I'm gonna take some of this liquid eyeshadow and I'm actually going to apply it on the lower lash line now. That way if there's any glitter fallout, I can kind of clean it up with my makeup wipe in just a bit. So I'm gonna take even more of that same exact shadow and I'm gonna work this across the entire lower lash line. I'm going back in with the brush we were using for the matte shadow from the Il Makiage palette. And while we're here, I'm just gonna take a little bit of that with the same color that we used on the top and just kind of blend this out a little bit along that lower lash line just to create a similar seamless transition that we have going on the top lid as well. Okay, I'm loving how this is looking. Okay, I'm gonna apply some mascara. I'm just gonna use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And I'm just going to apply that to the top lashes for now. I'm gonna hold off on the lower lash line until we have our base complete. All right, I'm going to take my makeup wipe and I'm gonna wipe away any fallout. Honestly, there's not too much at all, but I do wanna kind of clean up the edge on the outside. And I am being careful to kind of go lower than I normally do since we already applied the lower lash line eyeshadow. Okay, so I typically go for a little bit more of a matte foundation or primer in the fall. So I wanted to keep things really glowy to make it more of a transition. So I'm gonna take this Smashbox Photo Finish Illuminate Glow Primer and I'm gonna use this all over the face just to keep a little bit of that summer golden glow. This is honestly such a pretty golden primer. I love it. And then if you're following along, I would just say to go in with your favorite foundation. I actually repurchased my Wander Beauty Nude Illusion Liquid Foundation. This is one that used to be my all-time favorite, and it's just been so long since I've tried it. Mine expired a while ago, and I didn't repurchase it. So I finally did. I picked mine up in the shade Fair Light. You guys know I also love the NARS Light Reflecting, but selfishly, I wanted to revisit this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that out right on top of the primer using my e.l.f. brush. I'm gonna layer up a little more coverage on the jawline, just over the blemishes that are showing through still. And then I'm just gonna buff that in using the same brush. I wanted to go for a little bit more of a bright under eye today, since we have like a little bit more of a smoky eye going on. So I'm gonna use the Eggs of Beauty High Fidelity Color Corrector, and this is in the shade Pink. I'm just going to take this and dot it a little lower underneath the eyes since, again, we do have that shadow already going on. And then I'm just going to use the other side of my e.l.f. brush to start working that into the areas that I want more brightness. So I just follow kind of the hollows of my eyes. Well, I don't want to say hollows, but like just this kind of circular area right here, because that's where I personally get the darkest circles. Same thing on this eye. And then I'm just going to press that in with my sponge. I'm going to be sticking to my favorite concealer right now, which is the NYX Bear With Me concealer. Mine's in the shade Light. I'm going to pick that up on my brush as well. And again, I'm going to start applying that lower than normal to avoid stamping over that eyeshadow. I'm also going to use the concealer to get a little closer to my brows since I didn't with my foundation. This is something that I feel like is more of a fall makeup look thing that I do, is to kind of carve out the brows a little bit. We're also going to use that to brighten up the center of the nose, and let's brighten up the chin as well a little. After I've kind of mapped things out with the brush, I'm going to go in with the sponge and just press that in. I'm still being extra careful around the under eyes. We're going to set the face with the Laura Mercier powder in the shade Rose. So this is going to give a little bit more of a brightening effect, at least to myself and my under eye area. And I'm going to use the Beauty Blender Puff to press this in. So I'm going to dip it into the lid and then use the palm of my hand to kind of make sure it's evenly distributed. And I'm just going to press that underneath the eyes and down through the T-zone. I'm kind of pressing and rolling just to make sure it's really locked in. This is also something that I feel like is a little bit more of a fall type of a technique. I mean, obviously you can do this at any time, but this is going to make your under eyes look so seamless and airbrushed. So I'm trying to combine my favorite parts of fall and summer makeup. And I do love a little bit more of a matte T-zone all year round, obviously, but especially in the fall. I just like when things look airbrushed. So I'm going to go ahead and keep pressing that into the T-zone, the forehead a little bit. And then I'm going to take a fluffy brush just to lightly set the rest of the face. I don't mind if the sides of the face are a little bit more dewy, so I don't need like tons of powder on the sides of the face, but it helps my foundation last all day, and I'm using a powder bronzer today, so I just wanted it to be able to blend a little better. Okay, we're gonna go with a luminous bronzer. So what better than the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It Bronzer, such a classic. This is gonna add a little bit of warmth, a little bit of sculpting, and a little bit of glow so that it still looks a little summery. After I've applied the bronzer, I like to go in with my powder brush and just go around the face one more time to make sure it's all blended. And now we're gonna do the lower lash line mascara. So I'm just gonna take that eyeshadow brush that we used for the transition shade and just put whatever's left on the brush on again, since we used concealer and powder and all that, just so it blends into the under eye area seamlessly. And then I'm just gonna take the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara and apply that to the lower lashes. I'm just brushing up the brows so we don't lose the shape. And then since we went more luminous with the bronzer, I wanted to stick to a matte blush. And I'm actually gonna layer two colors. So the first one is the Burt's Bees blush in the shade Toasted Cinnamon. This is very fall, but then I wanted to add a little bit of peach just to hang on to summer. So we're layering the two. Starting with Toasted Cinnamon, a little goes a long way with this. And this is gonna be what I apply more toward the back of the cheeks, just like this. We're gonna save the apples of the cheeks for the peach color. And the color is Always Cheeky from e.l.f. So now I'm gonna just use the same brush, smile, and apply that to more of the apples of the cheeks for just a little bit of a summery warmth. I'm also gonna take what's left on the brush and go across the forehead a bit and on the chin and a little across the nose. So another thing that I really wanted to do for this look was to start incorporating a little bit more of a matte, more bold nude lip. It's not a super bold lip because it's not full on fall yet. I love wearing deeper lipsticks though in fall. So I'm gonna start off by sculpting the lip using one of my favorite lip liners right now. This is the Anastasia lip liner in Deep Taupe. And I'm just gonna start lining the lips with this. And then I use my finger to kind of blend it out so it's not too harsh, but I get that sculpt that I want. And then I'm gonna fill in the lips a little and then blend that in with my finger as well. And then I wanted to use one of my more high-end lipsticks. So I went in my Charlotte Tilbury collection and found the shade Very Victoria, which is one of my all-time favorite fall lipstick shades in general. I actually learned about this from you guys. So I'm going to apply Very Victoria right on top. Oh, it's such a good color. And then for just a little bit of a 3D kind of a look, I'm also going to take the shade Cover Star, which is this kind of nude shade, And I'm only applying that in the very, very center of the lips. And then I'm gonna take my finger and press it in. Okay, we're going to assess the situation. I want a little more bronzer, which is not that surprising since I always add bronzer at the end of every makeup look I do. And then I feel like I want a little bit of that toasted cinnamon blush in the crease of the eye. I don't know. I like to do this sometimes to just really tie in all the tones together. So I'm just gonna take this and sweep it through the crease. I'm trying not to go too far down so that I don't like spread the glitter everywhere. But I really do like that color around the eyes. Okay, I feel like the inner corner needs a little pizzazz. So I'm gonna take just a powder highlight that's sitting on my desk, and that's the Becca one. This is Moonstone. And I'm just gonna work that into the inner corner. Yes, I think that really helps complete the look. I'm gonna take what's left and apply it right under the highest point of the brow. And then I am going to actually touch up the brows a little. I feel like I did lose a little bit of the shape in the center after applying my makeup, so I'm just gonna use the same pencil. This one's from Benefit, to make sure my brows are nice and defined. Okay, to set the face, I'm gonna use my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Just all over, and then I'm gonna press that into the skin. And then for even more of that summery glow, since we are still in summer technically, I wanted to use my Say Beauty, I always forget what this is called, Glowy Super Gel. This is in the shade Star Glow. I'm just gonna pick that up from the back of my hand with my sponge and just tap it into the highest points of the face. Oh, it just makes the most beautiful glass skin effect. I love it. Okay, now we're gonna set the brows. Today I'm gonna use my Patrick Ta brow lamination gel to brush up and lock in those brows. This stuff is like super glue, so your brow hairs will not budge all day if you use it. A little goes a long way though, so don't overdo it and definitely work a little quickly. I'm touching up my lip lines just slightly. Okay. I'm so happy with how this look turned out. It's exactly what I had in my head. I feel like it's still fresh and glowy and very summery, but also there's a little hint of 90s, a little hint of structure and glam, which for me feels very fall. So it's right in the middle, in my opinion, and for my personal aesthetic and taste when it comes to makeup during this time of year. So I hope you guys enjoy this look as much as I do. Be sure to tag me if you guys ever recreate my looks or this one. I would love to see it. I'm so happy with how this turned out. The eyeshadow is to die for. I love the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadows. I just mentioned in my last video, because I tried out like the new Charlotte Tilbury cream eyeshadow colors, and my eye shape always creases with cream eyeshadows it seems, but not the Lisa Eldridge ones. So that's why I love them so much, and the colors are just to die for. So I feel like that's the star of the show. Like the lip combo and the eye, I'm really, really happy about. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button. And if you're already a subscriber, but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe, and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What are your favorite summer to fall products? Is there anything that you feel like really helps you transition your makeup style from summer to fall? I would love to know, so be sure to leave a comment. But yeah, that's it from me today. I hope you all have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.